everybody. This is Shirley with So Too We Begin Embroidery. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate that very much. And today I'm going to be talking to you about doing an embroidery design on a pair of sneakers that I got from Hobby Lobby. And I have this clamp. This is just part of the apparatus. I will show you the rest of it. And I've had it for quite a while, several months, maybe even a year, and I've never used it. So today will be my first time using it, and so we will be experimenting together. But I've read the book and the instruction book, and I saw a video, so I think I'm ready. And so we shall see. It's going to be a cute little design. It has to be a design, small, mini, because you can only get, I think it's like 7/8 of an inch by 1 1 1/4 inch, I believe. That's the dimension that you can put on the shoe with the frame that I have. So let's get started and see what happens. So you see here on my table are the things that I need. I have the manual, the instruction manual, which I did read. It's about 3 pages. You know how they have these multi-language manuals all put together, but all in total, the English language one, I would say, is anywhere from 4 to 5 pages long. Very simple instruction. This looks very complicated, threatening. I don't know. That's probably why I didn't do anything with it, because it looks complicated. So many pieces of steel. But after reading the instructions and looking at the video, it's actually a very simple process. It's, you have to put the arm on the machine, and let me zoom into, this is the arm that you'll have to use to put all of the attachments on. Now you have a SR, which would be the right side facing you, SL, so that's left and right, and then you have the plain S. Now, according to the manual, I probably didn't need these two, the left and the right, but I think when I purchased it, it all came as one package. Don't ask me how much. I know it was $300+. So, you know, frames are not inexpensive. They can be expensive. But I wanted to be able to do shoes and boots, and I have another clamp, and I have a video that I use with, I think I got it from Hoop Tech, and did some boots with it, and they worked well. So I may not have needed these clamps, except for the fact that when you're dealing with certain size shoes, they are, excuse me, they're hard to clamp when you're using the bigger clamp that I have. And according to the instruction, this particular S frame is what it's called. You can clamp shoes from a size, I think they said 5 up to a size 9 in US size. Anything larger than that, then they recommend that you go to the side frames to be able to clamp. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the arm on the machine. I have to take the A arm off, of course. Put the arm on the machine. You have to clamp your shoes, or hoop your shoes to the apparatus prior to putting it on the clamp. So that's what I'll be doing, and I'll show you the results. It's a little difficult to see the arm on here, but hopefully you can make it out where you see the D, and you see where the screws are here, and let me focus over on the other side. The bar is going across. You see the D, and then this is the part where the clamps are going to fit into. So this is how it's supposed to go on your machine. And like I said, you definitely have to take your A arm or B arm, whichever arm you have on your machine, off, and put this frame on. So this is the arm that is going to receive the clamps, and that is wasn't hard, obviously, but they did say to make sure that they are tightened down well, because if you don't, the machine won't recognize it. And this is a Brother frame, so it should recognize it, and it has to be up to date. And I'll tell you what the update version is of your machine if you're using 10 needle. Now this is strictly for 10 needles. I don't know what the criteria are for a single needle, but this is mainly for your 10 needles machines. So let me move on to the next step, where I actually hoop the shoe and then put the shoe on the machine by attaching it to this arm here. Well, I have the shoe hooped, and actually I had to use the S frame. The two left and right frames I couldn't use. The shoe is not big enough. And what I mean by that is the heel of the shoe has to stick out past this edge here. It can't be, when you're looking for your stitching area and you hoop it, the heel of the shoe must pass this notch here. And when I tried to put the, I believe it was the left or the right hoop on it, in order to get it in a reasonable spot, the heel did not come out far enough, because according to the instruction manual, this particular frame, which they call the S frame, can go up to a size 9. It can go as small as a size 5 and as large as a size 9. So basically, if you wanted to use the left and the right frames, it would have to be a size 9.5, 10, 11, 12 on up. Mainly male shoes, I guess, or anyone that may have a larger foot. I'm actually a 8.5 to 9, depending upon the make of the shoe. This particular shoe I picked up is a size 9. So that's the reason why I ended up having to use this hoop. So what that means is I can't hoop them both at the same time and save time. That's no big deal though. And this is what I came up with. The other thing is the screws need to be tightened down very good. It needs to have this part, see, the screw needs to be sticking up past the nut on both sides. And what they recommend, if you can't do that with your hand, then use this tool that came with your embroidery machine, your 10 needle machine. Now there's two of them in there. One is smaller than this one, which I was surprised because I thought the smaller one was going to work, but in actuality I needed to use this end of the larger one to make it tight enough. This little button here, or thing, whatever you want to call it, when you press on it, it helps to open up the frame to put the shoe in. And the other thing I noticed is that as I was tightening it down, if I pressed on this, then that meant I have to tighten it down a little bit more. So I think it's tightened down pretty good. It's not going to come off. So basically it is ready now to be put on that D arm, D as in dog, arm. And I chose a really small design. One, I believe, is a heart with an infinity design going through it, and the other one is a rose. So I think I'm going to do the rose on one, the heart on the other. It doesn't matter to me. They don't have to match. This is just a little test, and I'm going to be doing more things to these shoes. I got it to put rhinestones on it, so I most likely will be doing that at some point and probably do a video of that right now. But we're going to start with the embroidery. So I'm going to move this over to the machine. One other thing, I did not use stabilizer at all. It said if you're using thin material, then they recommend stabilizer. But I don't think the canvas of a sneaker is thin enough where I have to use a stabilizer, so I did not. I have the shoe attached. Let me see if you can see it, how it looks attached. See it a little bit. Anyway, this is where it's connected here. That was an interesting thing to do because you couldn't bring the arm out, so you had to get up under there and maneuver. Now, as you can see, I have stitched out part of the design, and I'm going to, sorry, I'm holding the camera with my hand, so fading in and out, moving around, sorry for that. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start it back up so it can move. Well, that's the result of the first design. It's a cute little butterfly with a heart. I'm happy. I'm satisfied. So now I have to unhoop this, hoop the other shoe, and do the other design. I have the second shoe hooped. It was a little bit easier since I knew what I was doing, and I did do the trace. They do recommend that you do the trace, but as you know, I was going to do it anyway, so I did the trace, and it does fit into that space. Now, I'm always telling off on myself, but I'll tell you about what I did after I get this on. I'm going to do the rose this time, and I actually made more work for myself, but like I said, I'll tell you once this rose is completed and I have the two shoes together. It has started sticking, and everything looks like the rose, and the dimensions, I did change my machine to millimeters because I wanted to make sure that it would fit according to the millimeters that was stated in the instruction book. So it has completed the leaf, and now it's getting ready to start. So far, so good. Here the shoes are side by side, and I am in love with my rose. And the butterfly is cute too, but I'm in love with this rose. And I don't know if you can tell, but I did mess up. The rose is correct. It is on the outside of the shoe like I wanted. But the butterfly is on the inside like I didn't want it. So what I've decided to do, as I stated, more work, I'm going to go back and put the rose out here because I love it so much. And I'm going to go in here and put the butterfly in here, so both of the shoes would match. And then when I move forward with putting rhinestone or whatever, I'll probably put these shoes on, go somewhere in it. But anyway, I am in love with the rose. It turned out so cute, and it was simple and easy. The apparatus that you use looks extremely intimidating with all of the screws and the metal and everything. It reminds me of first seeing the cap frame, 3-4 pieces. It's just like, oh my God, it's so overwhelming. But once you actually learn how to do it, or read how to do it, or watch a YouTube how to do it, you realize it's not bad. It's fun. It's actually easy to do. So I will be doing this with more. Actually, I'll probably venture out and do it on a good pair of shoes that I really want. I don't know. I don't wear sneakers that much, so I don't buy them that much. But who knows? I might just buy a pair of Adidas or Fila's or something that's not too decorated, and go ahead and decorate it myself. So that is the project. I'm not going to bore you guys with looking at me correct my mistake. I will show you the finished product when I'm done with it. So you'll see that I did two more so I can even it out. But I'm happy with it, and hopefully you learned something from this video. Okay, so I have completed the project. I went back and I stitched on the other shoes. Basically, I have a rose and a rose, and I have butterflies and butterflies. Let me see the rose a little better, maybe. Rose and rose, butterfly and butterfly. So now my two shoes are identical, pretty much. I don't know about the placement so much, but I have a rose on both sides and I have the butterfly on the inside. So that's the end of that project. As you can see, it wasn't very difficult. The most difficult thing about the entire project for me was actually doing the screwing, doing the hooping process, because you have to screw it on tight, and they tell you to use the tool that came with the machine, with the embroidery machine, and I did. For me, being arthritic in my hand, it wasn't a simple task. I actually need to have one of these things that kind of do its own thing without you having to put so much effort into it. But that was the only thing that was difficult about the whole situation. The other thing that I'm thinking is the diameter, the size. You really can't put much in there. You may be able to put like your initials or some little design like I did, which is really cute, really sweet. I imagine if I move things around, I could probably get two designs on there. You also can design your tongue. That's another thing. A lot of these shoes have designs and things on the tongue. And for me, I don't know if I would use that clamp frame, or what I got from Hoop Tech, which is larger, gives me a larger space. Don't know if that would work. Also, another option is fast frames. I have I believe it's the 8-in-1 or 7-in-1 fast frames, which you use the sticky stabilizer, and I know a lot of people are using those frames to do your designs on shoes and shoe tongues and even boots and what have you. If you don't have that extender arm, I would definitely recommend that you're there with the product holding it up to make sure there's no weight, especially if you're using a sticky paper. So that is all I have right now. So I hope this was something that was beneficial to you, that you would give it a try with whatever frames you may have. If you're interested in getting the Brother frames that I did, just keep in mind that, of course, they're not inexpensive, but it might be something that you want to add to your collection, which I did. I wanted to have something where I knew that I could stitch on shoes. And so that'd be it. But before I go, I do want to remind you, as usual, about Z Digitizing. If you're looking for a digitizing service, that you're wanting to have excellent service, that are quick, have a quick turnaround, they can get a quote back to you within minutes, and they can get your digitized work back to you within 24 hours, as long as there's nothing too complicated. They will give you a quote beforehand, so you know exactly what it's going to cost. And I have used them. I am very satisfied with their service. If for any reason you need to change something, or something isn't quite the way you want it, then you get back in touch with them, and they will do everything to make sure that your design that you requested is as the way you want it. So check them out, give them a try. If you click on the link below, I have a 50% off coupon that's available to you for your first order. So use the coupon. Also, I will be putting another link, an additional link on there that will allow you to go into their design studio. They have a subscription program, or you could just go in there and buy already ready-made designs. And again, there is a 50% off coupon for that as well. So I just recommend that you give Z Digitizing a try. And thank you so much for stopping by and listening to what I have to say, looking at my tutorial, and I will see you next time.